I've been working on the Velveteen Rabbit for a long time, actually. It was one of the first jobs I ever had in the theater, was working on a production of the Velveteen Rabbit. That production wound up running for something like 17 years or something. So that story for me has always been closely aligned with the holidays. We always did it at Christmas time. And so when I came to Magik, I thought it's always been in my mind as a show that I'd like to do. And it seemed like the ideal piece to share at the holidays. What I'm hoping to do is create a new tradition for families that come to Magik. I think the Velveteen Rabbit is a great story that is for younger kids, and I think at the holidays when you want to start a tradition of going out to an arts event, doing something together as a family, the Velveteen Rabbit is a great sort of way into that. All of the plays we make at Magik are made for families, and so I think this is a great way to start with your young people. Being real is at the center of the play, isn't it? And there's two kinds of real, right? There's real to the child, where his toy is real to the child. But then there's real to everyone else, right? What we see there is there's two steps. There's the love that we give to one another that makes us real. The way you give of yourself completely and freely to another person, that also makes you real. Feeling that sort of pain can make you real, and feeling that love can make you real. I hope that it starts conversations. I mean, all of the shows we do at Magik, we hope that you go home and in the car on the way home, there are questions about the show that continues. And finding a special place, a time to spend with your family that's away from the television, that's not a movie. I think theater, live theater opens up thinking in different ways. One of the challenges of telling the story is how do you show a rabbit? What's the difference between the Velveteen Rabbit and a real rabbit? How does a nursery fairy move? And so we decided this year to kind of use more dance in the show. And so you'll see tap dancing, you'll see ballet dancing, you'll see some fight choreography as well in some of the imagination sections where the bunny and the child fight a dragon, or the bunny and the child play pirates. So there's a lot more physicality, physical movement happening in the show this year. The biggest challenge is that the toys are real, right? The toys move, and in fact it might be the original Toy Story in that aspect. But the name of the book is actually The Velveteen Rabbit, or How Toys Become Real. And so we wanted to show that the toys were still toys, they're inanimate objects, but they also have an inner life, and they have conversations with the toys, talk to each other. The child can hear the toy speak at certain points too, So how did we show that? And one of the ways we do that is sort of like, I likened it to Peter Pan's shadow, where you'll see the Velveteen Rabbit on stage, but you'll also see the performer sort of beside the rabbit or behind the rabbit, sort of expressing emotion and also kind of reacting to the world around him as well. The Velveteen Rabbit in general, the story, has a little weight to it, I think, and we don't want it to be too heavy. And so this cast has been a joy to work with. They're all just naturally very funny people, and so throughout the rehearsal and as we talked about how to tell the story, we found places where we could find some more humor in the storytelling, so that when we get towards the end of the show, where everything changes for the Velveteen Rabbit, it feels like we've earned that a little more, and it doesn't feel like the end, but rather a new beginning. There's a new cast, which brings a whole new point of view to everything. There's actually one more person in the cast, which gives us a little more room to play around with things. And I think there's a little more humor this year. Beautiful new lighting, the set's been refurbished. There's lots of new things. If you saw it last year, there's a lot of great reasons to come back and see an almost all new production.